I feel like Offence was the first song we had done to start the album, in just the album process. And there was something about starting it off as well with just that the drums and like the bass line. It was like, okay, we're in. We're getting straight to the point. I made the conscious decision to not do an intro that was like long and dragged out and like lots of different sounds and stuff. I just wanted it to be straight to the point. We're going drums, bass, me. That's it. Clean and like, just like an old school feel, old school touch.
Let's move to the second track. It's called Boss.
Yeah.
There is nice reference to Touch the Sky by Kanye West.
Yeah.
I think it was on Late Registration, his second album.
Yeah.
Was it a big inspiration for you when you started to rap?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, I grew up on Kanye West, definitely, and always admired his work. And learnt from Ye and went and touched the sky. Kanye West has always struck me as someone that just like reaches for the stars and beyond. Do you know what I mean? As crazy as his ideas may be, or whatever the case, he kind of like believes in them and goes for them. And I admire that about him for sure. And I feel like I have similar attributes in a sense where I think big and I'm a dreamer, and I've always been quite ambitious ever since I was like young. So that's what. Yeah, I think what I was trying to say with the song is I'm not saying like, you know, I don't care about you. Like, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's more so just an expression of self-love and just understanding that it's my life. And at this point in my life, like, I'm choosing to put myself first, and I'm choosing to attend to myself and nurture and take care of myself. Because in the past, I feel like I've been very selfless and I've been way too given. And sometimes when a person is that way inclined, it's very easy for their kindness to be taken for a weakness in a sense. So it was more so just understanding that, and just understanding that, you know, you can be giving and you can be loving and all these things, but just don't forget to take care of yourself, and that's okay to be like that. You know what I mean? Chronix is somebody that I've been a fan of for a very long time, and I've just loved his raw essence. I've loved his voice, his writing. He's just a very, very talented individual and just a pure soul and a very, very lovely person. And he obviously featured on Stillness in Wonderland, and I think from that just sparked something in me, which was like, I have a really special and unique chemistry with this person, and I want to continue to work. And I feel like he felt the same as to why we collaborate on more things. And he was just the perfect fit. I think what he added was something that no one else could have added apart from him. Like his tone, the rawness in his voice, the emotion in his voice, it was just so fitting, and he killed it. I'm so happy with it. Yeah. Obviously, growing up, I grew up on grime music, and that was kind of an integral part of that kind of music, like your flow in the pockets and how you rhyme, and the technicality of it was quite essential. And I think that's just kind of always followed me through my career. Like in the music I've created, I've kind of found pockets and found ways to deliver words and but still articulate myself and make sure that it's clear. Hopefully, like, people still understand what I'm saying, but I'm just doing it very fast. 101 FM, again, speaking on the kind of music I grew up on, that was, I guess, the sound. Very much 140 BPM, like in terms of the tempo, and again finding those pockets to like fit in and make sure that what I'm doing and what the instrumental's doing works together and is not like battling against each other kind of thing. Honestly, that was probably the easiest song for me to write, because it just felt like it's just so familiar in terms of this is what I was doing as like a youngin', like 15, 16. This is the type of music I was on. I'm just freestyling and I'm just going, and that song for sure is very nostalgic for me. It just represents a certain time in my life where this was what we was into. The blessing of being like a 90s baby. You're like, I still got that old school touch because I was born in the 90s, but still new school with it at the same time, just finding the right balance. And I was fortunate enough to work with someone, Inflo, the producer of the record, that understood that as well, and understood how to just gear shift between sounds and yeah, man, that's it. Again, man, just felt like the right fit. Little Dragon, I've been fans of for a very long time. I didn't ever think I would like have a song with them, but it was just one of those songs where I felt like needed Yukimi's voice. Like I think she's got an incredible tone, and it was just so fitting to what Flo and I was creating, and Sigurd as well, who helped on the production of the song. He actually produced it, and we arranged stuff and then got Yukimi to help us out, yeah. With Therapy, I kind of wrote it from the perspective of so the first two verses is more like me imagining myself on a couch like this with a therapist and me talking. They've asked me, okay, Simbi, tell me what's wrong. And I've said, I've got used to spending my time alone. They ask when I'm coming home, my system on overload, but my knee is on like I'm telling you, you know what I mean? And that is my way of seeking therapy as opposed to actually going to see a therapist. Like I'd rather do it in a creative, artistic way. And maybe, I don't know, one day maybe I will go and it may not be what I thought it was, or it may be exactly that, but I think it's just another way of me being creative and trying new things. It was just a song that obviously is super personal, and I just needed to take my time with explaining things and just saying how I felt about the situation, and making sure that I'm being clear with what I'm saying. And I wasn't trying to I'm not trying to out anyone or be disrespectful. I'm just saying from my point of view what the situation was. Having Michael on this song for the last song as well, I just think was like a perfect ribbon on the whole album. It was just like the last piece to it all. The record is an emotional one. I think it's more so, it discusses the themes of, I guess, fame in some sort of way. I speak from the perspective of like Jimi Hendrix and then Amy Winehouse, and kind of look at their life and their story, and then look at my own and think, okay, well, these people sadly left us at the age of 27 and they achieved XYZ. I'm 24 and I would like to be iconic. I'd like to be legendary, but whilst getting to that place, how do I stay on the straight and narrow, and how do I stay sane? And it's just more questions to ask myself. It's another chapter that I'm going to explore. And yeah.